today. Like I told you previously, my voice is clear, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So, like I told you previously, only two topics are remaining. We previously started the titrations, conductometric titrations. We will see some more cases of acid base and other titration. And then the last topic that remains is high frequency titrations. And we'll wrap today. Yesterday, I uploaded the notes of conductometry. Did anyone check out? I don't think so.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Uh-huh. Do one thing. After today's lecture, just you at least, I know you're not going to go through it right now, but at least just check it out. I've put two notes. I have put two files actually. I've named it conductometry 1 and conductometry 2. Yeah. It contains everything like the diagrams and all from which I took. Everything is there
Yes,
in
ma'am,
that.
it is there.
It's there? Okay, fine. So you will get everything in those two notes except high frequency titration. So for high frequency titration, in the beginning of the class, Mishra ma'am uploaded many books, reference books. From that book, there is one particular book called what was it? Vogel. Arthur Israel Vogel is the name of that book, the name that has been uploaded. Arthur Israel Vogel. In that book, there is one chapter of conductometer. So in that, the last topic is high frequency conductometry. So you will get that in that book also. If time permits, I will just show you um, where in that book you will find this topic. So basically, everything has been uploaded. What I will tell you is not to wait till your exam time. Before that, at least just go through and see whether you are having all the. If you just check out and keep a track of where all the topics are present. At least that you must know. The following topic is present in this particular book or in this particular area. So keep in track those things. All right. Now we will begin with from where we had stopped previously. We were discussing about uh, the types of conductometric titrations, and in that we were discussing acid base titration. Okay, is the presentation visible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Uh, so last time we were discussing this acid-base titration, and we had started with strong acid versus a strong base. So now this one, I hope you recall, we had started with. I had told you when we discuss about the titration, you have to keep in mind. Uh, you keep up with the imagination of how you actually perform a titration. So if you recall it over here, we are doing it, we are titrating HCl versus NaOH. Now HCl is in your conical flask, NaOH is in the burette. So this one we had discussed a bit Can any one of you just recall it, what we discussed that day? Anyone, in any language, I mean the language of your comfort. Can anyone just come up and talk? लास्ट टाइम हमने जो डिस्कस किया था कि इनिशियली कंडक्टेंस क्यों हाई है, फिर वो कैसे डिक्रीज हो जाता है और एक पॉइंट के बाद फिर से बढ़ने लगता है, द रीजन बिहाइंड इट, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. कैन एनीवन जस्ट in 1 or 2 or 3 sentences?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Who is this?
Devarshi.
Yes, Devarshi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. In acid-base titration with the conductometry, initially the conductance is depend on the migration or activity of the H plus ion. As we added base from the burette, the concentration of H plus is decreased, so the conductance depend on H plus is also decreased. At certain point, the whole H plus ions is converted into water molecule. So at that time, the conductance is lowest, as we shown in the graph. And then when we add base, because we don't know where the endpoint is happens, we continuously adding our base solution. So the after the endpoint, the conductance is depend on the OH minus ion. So it will then increasing, but the increase of conductance due to OH minus ions is not similar as H plus, because the conductance of H plus ions is the highest. It is highest mobile ion in any other comparison to other all ions.
Yes.
So we can say that the conductance of OH is comparatively low.
Yes.
And the shape of the graph is V, but not perfectly V, because OH minus is the slight less mobile ion comparing to H plus ions.
Very good. Very good. So this is what is happening in the reaction between a strong acid and a strong base. अब क्या होता है, अगर ये हमने एग्जाम्पल लिया है HCl वर्सेस NaOH. अब strong acids and strong bases काफी सारे हैं. Whenever any strong acid reacts with an equally strong base, we expect this kind of graph. Means it should give some kind of V shape. Perfectly ऐसा होना जरूरी नहीं है, but it will show a kind of V shape of graph. Because whenever there is strong compound present, these kind of compounds will give sharp line. अब आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पे कहीं पे curve नहीं है, कहीं पे भी curve नहीं है. It is going either sharply down way, or it is going sharp upside. So this is the typical nature of a strong acid and a strong base. You have to remember both the components are strong. अब एक और चीज है इसमें, see what you are seeing in the graph is a straight line. लेकिन अगर आपको याद हो तो आप जब BSc में भी ग्राफ प्लॉट करते थे तो कैसे करते थे? You have some values in the x axis and you have some values on the y axis. You take those values and you plot it on the graph. आप ऐसे डॉट करते थे ना, you all used to plot it. You put a dot and you start connecting the dots. ऐसा करते थे ना सब? You did like that or not?
Yes.
Yes. So exactly in this case होता वैसे ही है. You just start connecting all the dots, that is all the values that you get, and it does not exactly go like this. क्या होता है? You have to extend the line. ये जो line है, the line that is going down way, it actually you have to extend it. You will get two different lines, and वो दो line जहाँ intersect करते हैं, that is your actual end point. अब जब आप ये प्रैक्टिकली करने बैठते हो तो देयर विल बी स्लाइट कंफ्यूजन, क्योंकि जरूरी नहीं है कि आप जो पॉइंट्स प्लॉट करते हो वो एग्जैक्टली स्ट्रेट लाइन में आए ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है, थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर हो जाता है. दैट इज नॉर्मल व्हेन यू परफॉर्म अ प्रैक्टिकल. अब ये जजमेंट आपको लाना है कि you have to plot a line in such a way that majority of the points come on the line या फिर at least near to the line. That is how you actually plot a graph. Now this thing theoretically बोलना आसान है, until and unless you start doing it. एक बार आप जब तक करते नहीं हो you won't get the actual glimpse of it. So this thing I leave it over here. When you perform the practical you will come to know. Just keep the theory, ये जो सब theory आप पढ़ रहे हो practical के time ये concepts दिमाग में रखना. It will become very easy when you perform the practical and when you actually plot the graph. I hope this one is clear to you all. So we'll move on to the second type. Okay, now this case, here we are titrating a weak acid with a strong base. And we have an example, acetic acid versus sodium hydroxide. अब देखो, इस केस में you see the nature of graph is different from the previous one. There it was a very sharp V. अब यहाँ पे see these are for different concentrations. आप कोई एक किसी एक को consider कर लो, जैसे कि just follow my cursor. I'm having the topmost one. The graph starts from over here. It is going downwards. Then there is a small curve kind of nature. You see there is a small curve. And then the graph is going straight, very straight line. So the nature changed over here. अब आप सोचो यहाँ पे ऐसा क्यों है? ओरिजिनल जो क्राइटेरिया, ओरिजिनल पैटर्न जो आपने लास्ट टाइम देखा वो तो है ही. The conductance is going down, that is there. But यहाँ पे आपको proper V नहीं देख रहा है. What do you think must be the reason? Okay, now in this scenario also your conical flask is having acetic acid, which is a weak acid, and your burette is having NaOH. So we will start from this point where your conductance rod measuring electrode hai, you have dipped it in acetic acid. The titration has not started. So here is the conductance right now. So you have some moderate value of conductance. Can anyone tell me now what is happening? What will happen once I start the titration?
Buffer is created.
Buffer?
Buffer.
Buffer. कौन सा buffer आएगा यहाँ पे?
CH3COOH.
Okay. Okay.
जैसे ही हमारा रिएक्शन स्टार्ट होता है, वीक एसिड में से H प्लस रिमूव के Na जॉइंट होता है. At equivalent point, CH3COOH and CH3COONA both are present. On that time, buffer solution is created, so conductivity is gone constant.
यहाँ पे constant कहाँ दिखा तुमको ग्राफ में?
Constant means normally slightly conductance means कि धीरे-धीरे कम होता है. हाँ.
Okay. हाँ. और फिर क्या होता है? चलो CH3COONA बन गया. हाँ बताओ.
Excess of NaOH is adding, then now again concentrations of ions is increases, then conductance is increasing.
Very good. So this is actually happening. Very good. That was Nikhil. Was it you?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Nikhil.
Okay. All right. I will add just one more point to it. I hope everyone was listening to this. I will add just one more point. Just as Nikhil said, acetic acid. Initially, we were having only acetic acid. The ions in this acid, इसमें ions कैसे dissociate होंगे? You will have positive ion will be H plus and the negative ion will be acetate, CH3COO minus, acetate ion. अब इसमें ये दो आयन्स होंगे. जैसे ही टाइट्रेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं हम, the H plus will be replaced by Na plus. Means acid base titration है, यानी there will be salt formation. यहाँ पे कौन सा salt form होता है? Sodium acetate. This H plus is replaced by Na, यानी CH3COONA. Sodium acetate is the salt formed. अब यहाँ पे क्या है? ये जो acetic acid है, this is a very weakly ionizing acid. Its dissociation constant is very low. वीकली आयोनाइजिंग यानी कंडक्टोमीटर में आपको ये पता है कि हमें कंडक्टेंस के लिए आयंस की जरूरत है. द आयंस शुड बी फ्री, शुड बी एबल टू मूव फ्रीली. अब यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है? एसिटिक एसिड इज वीकली आयोनाइजिंग, मीन्स द आयंस फॉर्म्ड ऑफ एसिटिक एसिड दे आर वेरी लेस, दे डोंट कम इनटू आयोनिक फॉर्म इजीली, और बनते भी है तो दे आर इन वेरी लेस अमाउंट. यानी कि आपके सिस्टम में ओरिजिनल जो सिस्टम है टाइट्रेशन से पहले जो एसिटिक एसिड लेके बैठे थे आप, उसमें आयंस काफी कम है. सो द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट इटसेल्फ द कंडक्टेंस इज कंपैरेटिवली लेस. कंपैरेटिवली लेस कंडक्टेंस है. एसिटिक एसिड इज कंडक्टिंग बट इट इज वेरी वेरी लो कंडक्टिंग एसिड. अब क्या हुआ? You are starting with the titration. So just as your classmate said, sodium acetate is being formed. Ab sodium acetate is also a conducting electrolyte, but its conductance is again very low. And this decreasing pattern, decreasing क्यों है? क्योंकि our fast moving H plus, highly ionized H plus is getting consumed, is getting used up. The number of H plus is going down, इसलिए conductance is going low. अब since this is a weak acid, this acetate ion suppresses the formation of acetic acid. इसीलिए यहाँ पे ये कर्व जैसा है, एकदम शार्पली खत्म नहीं होता है, धीरे धीरे it comes to the end point. Sharp endpoint is observed when you have strong acid and strong base. If one of the component is comparatively weak, it will give you this curve kind of nature. जैसे ही आप ये curve देखते हो, आपको समझ जाने का system में at least one of the component is weak in nature. और जहाँ जहाँ आप sharp ऐसे शार्प शेप देखते हो, जैसे शार्प लाइन अगर आपको दिख जाता है, तो आपको ये समझना है कि उस सिस्टम में स्ट्रॉन्ग कंपोनेंट है. So this is how your at this point your acetic acid is totally consumed. जो सोडियम एसिटेट salts भी थे वो भी यूज अप हो गए हैं. Its conductance is also detected. अब क्या है? आप टाइट्रेशन कर रहे हैं, यानी आपकी ब्यूरेट में से NaOH कॉन्स्टेंटली गिरता जा रहा है. दैट NaOH इज इंक्रीजिंग एंड the additional OH ions whose mobility is comparatively high than this entire system. Because of that OH ion, conductance is constantly now increasing. Did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we go on to strong acid with a weak base. So we have changed here the acid. We are having sulfuric acid versus ammonium hydroxide. Okay. Now can anyone discuss this one, this graph? अब ये देखो, ये graph totally अलग है. Previous दो graphs के comparison में ये totally अलग है. Your system is again the same. आपका जो conical flask है उसमें sulfuric acid है, which is a strong acid, and आपके burette में ammonium hydroxide है जो कि एक weak base है. So under this condition, can anyone tell me why we are having this nature of graph? See, the basic concept behind understanding the graph is same like the previous ones. हमें सिर्फ conductance के बारे में ध्यान देना है and we have to see what is the nature of solution we are using, whether it is strong or weak. अगर ये पता चल जाए तो हम खुद से बना सकते, हम predict कर सकते हैं कि कैसा हो सकता है. And students in this group, you slowly you start coming out and start speaking up. You don't have to be frightened of anybody or anything. ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, कुछ गलत बोल डालोगे तो क्या हुआ, यू आर स्टूडेंट, वी ऑल मेक मिस्टेक्स, so it's okay, you just open up and start to speak. Would anyone like to say about this particular titration? Nobody? What happened? It is just like the previous ones. Nobody wants to try also. See, ये देखो यहाँ पे जो initial portion है, this is very much similar to the first type of titration. This initial portion is very much similar to the first titration that we discussed. Anyone wants to give it a try?
Ma'am, can I?
Sure.
At the beginning, as strong acid and strong base curve, we have sharp change as as depend on the concentration or mobility of H plus ions, which is already in H4. But as we added NH4OH, it binds with the H2SO, and the number of H plus ions is decreased. At the equivalence point, that all H plus ions are finished up, and after that the NH4OH is a weak base and it is in excess. So as we know, weak base are not easily ionized, dissociate, so it remain as a NH4OH, and maybe it is a factor, there is no change in conductance because it not easily ionized or dissociates further as compared to strong acid. So maybe conductance are remain as it is, and we get a parallel line to the x-axis. This is it.
Very good. Exactly. Whatever was there, you covered everything. This is what is happening over here. Like I said, I'll just brief up once again. आपके पास strong acid है, which is sulfuric acid, and सामने titrating agent है ammonium hydroxide, which is a weak base. अब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, आप इनिशियली आपके पास कोनिकल फ्लास्क में सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड है जो कि एक स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड है. Now before you start with the titration, you are at this point. You have put the electrode in your conical flask and you started measuring the conductance, but the titration has not started. तो obvious बात है, यहाँ पे H plus ions है, sulfate ions है, and especially because of the H plus ions, the conductance is very high. Now you are starting with the titration. So ammonium hydroxide is being added to your conical flask. So as expected, because H plus is being replaced by ammonia ions, the conductance is decreasing. Ammonia ions have low conductivity, very less conductivity. So conductance is decreasing, and it reaches a point where all the H plus is used up. अब आपको पता है कि एक बार the entire H plus is used up, फिर एडिशनली सिस्टम में क्या जाता है, जो आप ब्यूरेट में से ऐड कर रहे हो वही जाता है ना। अब आपके ब्यूरेट में है अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड, उसमें जो अमोनिया आयंस है, अमोनिया दैट गोज इन एक्सेस। जैसे प्रीवियस केस में OH माइनस वॉज लीडिंग, इन दिस केस द अमोनिया आयंस लीड। अब इस केस में क्या है, this is a weak electrolyte, this is a weak electrolyte, therefore the ions are not properly formed, like they don't have proper ionic dissociation, इसमें ionic dissociation नहीं है, because of which अगर ionic dissociation नहीं है, ions ही नहीं है, तो what will it conduct? There will be no conductance, right? This is what is happening in this case. इसमें ions इतने कम है कि the conductometer measures the conductance, no doubt, but क्या है कि इतना लो है कि there is nothing to be shown on the digital meter. That low conductance is almost going as constant. It does not decrease the conductance, neither does it increase the conductance. It is like it is having no effect on the overall conductance. इसीलिए आप ऊपर से जितना भी अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ऐड करते जाओगे, it will show no change in conductance. So you will end up having constant conductance. ये देखो, ये जो वैल्यू है यहाँ पे, if you extend it, somewhere here the conductance comes. Your initial conductance was here at the top, final conductance is somewhere here at the bottom. But you continue with the titration, there is no change in conductance. Ultimately, you have a parallel line to the x-axis. This is what happens when there is a strong acid and a weak base. अब देखो, इसमें भी आप predict कर सकते हैं कि आपका component जो है, the component that is in your conical flask, अब आपको ये नहीं पता कि आपके conical flask में क्या है, आपको आप इतना पता कर सकते हो कि एक component जो है वो काफी strong nature का है. Looking at the graph, you can predict this much, and even you can predict that the second component is not much ionizing in nature, क्योंकि ये constant है. So these kind of predictions you can make from the graph. Okay. I hope this is clear to you. We will move on to the next one, which is weak acid versus weak base. Now both the things are very weak. Okay. This is also a rather expected kind of graph if you understood the previous graphs, but there is some difference over here. ये जो portion है, the straight upward rise, and फिर ये जो constant है, इतना शायद आप समझ गए होंगे, like many of you must have understood, but there is something over here. You see it? There is a small curve kind of thing. What do you think? Why is that curve coming up? और ये curve important है, it is significant. It is a small thing, but it is significant. आपको क्या लगता है, हमारे पास ये example है acetic acid versus ammonium hydroxide. What do you think? What reaction takes place and why we are having this curve? Can anyone think about, like, come up with some reason behind it? Anyone? I can give you a few moments to think on it. It is morning time, you are fresh. Just think, why is that happening?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, who is this?
Bhavdeep Karelia.
Yes, Bhavdeep.
Here both are weak acid and weak bases, so both are weakly dissociated in the solution. When we add titrant to the analyte, the H plus or H plus and OH minus both reacts and forms water. That is why conductance decreased, because there is no ions for conductance. And when all H plus and OH minus ion are used, then again ion from titrant will make the conductance, and that is why the graph is raising in conductance. And at the end point, there will be again constant, because weak titrant will be there, so no that much difference in conductance.
Okay, Bhaudip. I understood this portion. You are very much clear. ये जो constant वाला portion है, तुमने ये वाला जो बताया ना, increase in conductance वाला,
yes
ये तुम फिर से बता सकते हो तुमने क्या बोला?
yes मैम, देखो जब हम ऊपर से टाइट्रेंट डालते हैं नीचे, तब
हाँ,
क्या होगा
ऊपर से
कि
तुम
दोनों
इस केस में तुम अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ऊपर से डाल रहे हो, ठीक है?
हाँ,
हाँ,
अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड हमने ऊपर से डाला, और जब नीचे एसिटिक एसिड था तो वो भी वीकली डिसोसिएटेड है, तो इसका मतलब बहुत कम H प्लस आयन होंगे, और ऊपर से जो आएगा नीचे वो भी वीकली डिसोसिएट होगा, जिसका मतलब बहुत कम OH माइनस होगा। जब कम H प्लस और OH माइनस कंबाइन हो गए, H2O फॉर्म होगा, दैट्स व्हाई देयर विल बी नो आयंस टू मेक कंडक्टेंस, दैट इज व्हाई ग्राफ इज डिक्रीजिंग फॉर स्लाइड।
ये बात यहाँ पे स्टार्टिंग में।
हाँ, स्टार्टिंग में।
ओके ओके।
एंड नाउ जब ऊपर से हम NH4OH डाल रहे हैं, तब क्या होगा कि वो भी वीकली डिसोसिएट होगा जब हम ऊपर से डाल रहे हैं, बट देयर विल बी नो हाइड्रोजन टू मेक H2O, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द कंडक्टेंस इज इंक्रीजिंग।
इसीलिए इंक्रीज हो रहा है, हाइड्रोजन नहीं है इसलिए। तुम एक पॉइंट मिस कर रहे हो। तुम सोचो अगर ये दोनों रिएक्ट कर रहे, ऊपर से हम अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड डाल रहे हैं एसिटिक एसिड में, तो यहाँ पे कौन सा सॉल्ट फॉर्म होगा? इस
अमोनियम
H+
सॉल्ट।
को, हाँ, अमोनियम। व्हाट इज द कंप्लीट नेम ऑफ द सॉल्ट?
Ammonium acetate.
अमोनियम एसिटेट।
हाँ, अमोनियम एसिटेट सॉल्ट इज बीइंग फॉर्म। अब यहाँ पे एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ये है, एसिड भी वीक है, बेस भी वीक है, लेकिन ग्राफ में एक काफी अच्छे से ये इंक्रीज हो रहा है। दिस इज बिकॉज ये जो सॉल्ट फॉर्म होता है ना इसमें, अमोनियम एसिटेट, इट इज अ वेरी गुड इलेक्ट्रोलाइट, and if it is a good electrolyte, it will show some kind of, moderately good conductance it will show. अब आप ये भी सोच रहे होंगे कि this increase is from, you can see a point, it starts from here and it ends over here. ये बहुत ही लिमिटेड है। बाकी के ग्राफ में आपने देखा होगा कि जैसे ये है, it is going on increasing. If you continue with the titration, ये जो पोर्शन है, it will keep on going and going. सेम वे ओवर हियर, अगर आप टाइट्रेशन कंटिन्यू करते हो और एंड NaOH ऐड करते जाओगे तो इट विल कीप ऑन इंक्रीजिंग, कहीं पे एंड पॉइंट नहीं है। जबकि यहाँ पे है स्ट्रेट लाइन, बट इट इज हैविंग अ स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट एंड एन एंडिंग पॉइंट। ये क्यों है? ये दिखाता है दिस वाज द अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्ट फॉर्म्ड। अब ये देखो, आप जैसे ही अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ऐड करोगे, हाउ मच सॉल्ट विल बी फॉर्म्ड? जितने जो कोनिकल फ्लास्क में एसिडिक एसिड है, उतना ही सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन होगा ना। एक टाइम पे सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन बंद हो जाएगा, बिकॉज देयर इज नो मोर एसिडिक एसिड इन द कोनिकल फ्लास्क। सो व्हेन द सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन स्टॉप्स, द इंक्रीज इन कंडक्टेंस आल्सो स्टॉप्स। फिर क्या होता है? एक्सेस में सिर्फ अमोनिया जाता है, and it has no effect on conductance, which is why you have constant line. Bhaudip, did you get this?
Yes ma'am.
Everyone else, did you understand this middle portion? This straight line comes?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I have a question.
हाँ।
जैसे बताया फ्रेंड ने कि जब स्टार्टिंग पोर्शन में हम एसिटिक एसिड और NH4OH का टाइट्रेशन करते हैं तो उसके अंदर दोनों का रिएक्शन का H2O फॉर्म होता है, तो तब भी CH3COONH4 तो तब भी क्रिएट होता है अमोनियम
नहीं,
एसिड।
अब मैं वो हाँ मैं समझ गई। अब अभी है ना, ये जो स्टार्टिंग पोर्शन में जो हो रहा है मैं अब बताऊंगी। ये जो डिप है तुम इसकी बात कर रहे हो शायद।
यस मैम।
हाँ, अब मैं वो बताऊंगी। मैंने ये बीच वाला पोर्शन पहले क्लियर किया। नाउ आई विल टॉक अबाउट दिस वन।
ओके मैम।
है ना? हाँ, ओके, आई विल एक्सप्लेन टू यू व्हाट इज हैपनिंग ओवर हियर। तो सी, ये जो पोर्शन है, द इनिशियल पॉइंट, this is where your conical flask is having only acetic acid, and by now you know it is a feebly ionizing acid, weakly dissociating acid. अब जैसे ही आप टाइट्रेशन स्टार्ट करते हो, द इनिशियल पॉइंट ऑफ द टाइट्रेशन plays a very important role in this. How does it play an important role? आपके पास अंदर सिस्टम में है H प्लस आयन एंड एसिटेट आयन। जैसे ही आप 1 या 2 ड्रॉप अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ऐड, व्हाट हैपेंस इज, अब ये देखो H प्लस, वॉट एवर द कंडक्टेंस यहाँ पे जो स्टार्टिंग में जो भी आप देख रहे हो, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द H प्लस आयन। भले कम है, लेकिन वो कम में भी इट इज शोइंग सम कंडक्टेंस। But the moment 1 or 2 drop or 3 drops of ammonium hydroxide falls, there is a sudden replacement of highly conducting H plus with the very low conducting ammonium ions. अब ये ammonium ions, वो जो 3-4 drops आपने initially डाला, वो इसको इतना cover कर लेता है H plus को कि it shows a sudden drip in the conductance. It overshadows H plus, एकदम से H plus को दबा देता है। वो 2-3 ड्रॉप में ऐसा हो जाता है। अगर रिएक्शन वाइज हम देखने जाए तो जैसे ही 1 ड्रॉप हम बेस ऐड करते हैं, कुछ सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन होना चाहिए, होता ऐसे ही है, सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन इज देयर, बट द इनिशियल 2-3 ड्रॉप्स suppresses the H plus so much, एंड ऑल्सो द सॉल्ट, जो सॉल्ट फॉर्म होता है उसको भी वो सप्रेस कर देता है। दैट इज वाई इनिशियली, दिस इज जस्ट फॉर द बिगिनिंग, इनिशियली देर इज अ डिप इन कंडक्टेंस। लेकिन फिर क्या होता है, ये जस्ट स्टार्टिंग के थोड़े सेकेंड्स के लिए ही ये रहता है। फिर क्या होता है, सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन स्टार्ट हो जाता है। जैसे ही आप टाइट्रेशन स्टार्ट करते हो, कंटिन्यूसली NH4OH गिरता जाएगा, तो सॉल्ट फॉर्मेशन विल स्टार्ट टेकिंग प्लेस मोर एंड मोर एंड मोर। फिर ये जो सप्रेशन था वो चला जाता है एंड कंडक्टेंस स्टार्ट्स इंक्रीजिंग। So this is a very minute thing, but it is observed. It is observed in every kind of similar titration. That is that initial few seconds, जो initial few drops है, उसका effect है. It suppresses the acetate ions. That is why you see this dip. It is not entirely due to formation of water. It is because the H plus is suppressed by ammonia ions. Is this clear to you?
मैम आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन नाउ आल्सो।
हाँ।
आपने जब बताया कि CH3COOH, तो हमारे पास जो CH3COOH वो एक्सेस है कंपैरिजन टू NH4OH, जो हम 2-3 ड्रॉप्स ही डालते हैं।
हाँ।
तो हमारे डिसोसिएशन जो हुआ है CH3COO माइनस और H प्लस का, तो कंपैरिजनली NH4OH का भी डिसोसिएशन उतना कम ही होने वाला है। तो फिर वो इतने सारे हमारे एक्सेस अमाउंट के जो H प्लस और CH3COO उसको कवर अप कैसे करेंगे?
ये जो तुम एक्सेस बोल रहे हो ना, इतना ज्यादा भी एक्सेस नहीं है, ये काफी वीक आयोनाइजिंग है ना। ये इतना एक्सेस अमोनिया के सामने,
कंपैरिजन टू अमोनिया के सामने तो मैम उसके अंदर थोड़ा तो ज्यादा होगा ही, क्योंकि हम 2 से 3 ड्रॉप ही डालने वाले हैं। तो डिसोसिएशन के पहले वहां तो होगा ही ना।
होता है, तुम जो कह रहे हो वैसे होता है, लेकिन तुम समझो एसिटिक एसिड इतना वीक है, और जिसमें तुम्हारे दिमाग में जो एक्सेस का चल रहा है ना, उतना एक्सेस नहीं है। अमोनिया आयन इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग है कि वो, और ये देखो ये थोड़े टाइम के लिए ही दबाता है। ये जो इनिशियल केस है, ये इट इज जस्ट फॉर अ फ्यू मोमेंट्स। सिर्फ इनिशियली आपको दिखेगा, और वो आप ध्यान से प्रैक्टिकल नहीं करोगे तो ये दिखेगा भी नहीं आपको, उतना माइनर है।
ओके मैम।
और है ना, और एक और चीज है, जैसे कि इस केस में, इस पर्टिकुलर केस में, जैसे अमोनिया आयन है, आपको पता है कि हम जब स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड यूज करते हैं तो यहाँ पे सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड यूज करते हैं। अब Na प्लस, दिस इज निखिल, राइट? निखिल, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, तुम्हारे सामने अमोनिया आयंस भी है एंड मैं सोडियम आयंस भी रखती हूँ, ठीक है? तुमको तुम्हारे हिसाब से विच वन विल हैव कंपैरेटिवली मोर मोबिलिटी?
NH4 plus.
NH4 plus. So, what do you expect? Ammonium ion and sodium ion दोनों के comparison में conductivity, which one will show more conductivity?
एज अ कंपेरिजन Na प्लस सिर्फ सोडियम आयन है, तो उसमें कंडक्टिविटी शो नहीं होगी, बिकॉज ऑफ सोडियम आयन इज नॉट अ गुड इलेक्ट्रॉन कंडक्टेंस, बट NH4 plus is more conductivity, so on that time those given a more conductance.
Good, good. Yes, ammonium ions have comparatively higher conductivity. When in general, you gave the right answer, but over the years when we have discussed this in class, a general tendency of students is to say that sodium ions have higher conductivity. और जनरली जैसे जिस तरह हम पढ़ते हैं हमें लगता भी ऐसा ही है कि सोडियम आयंस कंपैरेटिवली स्मॉल है, दे विल हैव मोर मोबिलिटी एंड मोर कंडक्टेंस, बट इट डजंट हैपन सो। सोडियम एंड अमोनिया आयंस, मैं सिर्फ आयंस की बात कर रही हूँ, जब कंपेयर करें तो कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ अमोनिया इज कंपैरेटिवली हाई। And in this case, that is why when you asked over here, it is sufficient enough to suppress the H plus. पर वो जो strength है, the strength of ammonia, it can last for just, you know, just that initial, वो एकदम तुम खुद सोचो, अगर कोई मैं एक एनालोगस एग्जांपल देती हूँ, जैसे कि अगर कोई एक वीक इंसान है, ठीक है, एंड ही इज फाइटिंग अगेंस्ट अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पर्सन, the weak person might end up getting defeated, but तुम सोचो अगर in the beginning itself if he comes with full strength, he can give, you know, he can what I am trying to say, he can put in a good strength in the initial time. Are you getting my example? देख, अगर एक वीक इंसान है,
Yes, ma'am.
हमसे एक स्ट्रॉन्ग इंसान के सामने आता है तो स्टार्टिंग में वो अच्छे से फाइट कर सकता है ना, bringing all his strengths together.
Yes, ma'am. We understand what you try to say.
Yeah, with time the weakness will be seen, with time the weak effect of this base will be seen, but initial few drops इतने strong होते हैं कि वो suddenly H plus को down कर ही देता है, पर वो फिर quickly pick up भी कर लेता है, and then there is salt formation and the conductance increases. Was I able to clear your doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we will move forward. This is a case when you are having a mixture of acid. आपके सिस्टम में स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड भी है एंड वीक एसिड भी है, एंड आप इसे टाइट्रेट करेंगे या तो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस के सामने या फिर एक वीक बेस के सामने। इन दैट केस व्हाट हैपेंस? अब ये देखकर तो एकदम से कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगेगा, बट देयर इज नथिंग कॉम्प्लिकेटेड इन इट. इट इज एग्जैक्टली a mixture of all the four graphs that you saw previously. The graph itself is self-explanatory. Looking at this graph, would anyone like to explain what is happening? आपका सिस्टम, मैं आपको बता देती हूँ, आपका सिस्टम ऐसा है, आपका जो कोनिकल फ्लास्क है उसमें HCl भी है एंड एसिटिक एसिड भी है, स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड वीक एसिड दोनों है। आप इसको टाइट्रेट करेंगे या तो NH4OH के सामने स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस के सामने या फिर एक वीक बेस के सामने. So what do you think?
Can I try, ma'am?
Sure, please go ahead.
फर्स्ट मैं टाइट्रेशन करूंगा स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस के साथ NaOH के साथ.
Okay.
So in the beginning, strong acid HCl and NaOH both are combined, and conductance are decreases because of
Yes.
formation, and then suddenly on that point HCl and NaOH are completely dissociated and neutralized. Then a weak acid CH3COOH and NaOH are react, and conductance is slowly decreases and then and increases because of excess of NaOH is added. Then conduction is slightly increasing, and on those points that totally CH3COOH Na is created. Now excess of NaOH added, then conductance is again increases as a sharply.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Would you like to go ahead with second case? अगर weak base के सामने करे तो?
In this stage also, can I try?
हाँ, sure.
Strong acid and weak base are here. Then the first portions are similar. That concentrations of H plus is higher, and
Yes.
they react with weak base. Then conductance is decreases, but at when HCl is totally dissociated with weak acid. Now weak acid and weak base are comes. So on that time both are weak. So the conductance is not increases much more. It's little bit. And once time that both are ionized, then NH4OH weak base are increases. So they are again like before graphs we see that those are no give on a conductance. They gonna sharply straight means parallel line.
Very good. You gave the complete explanation of this mixture of strong acid, weak acid, and versus strong base or weak base. This is exactly what is happening. So I will just give a very quick review. I think all of you understood what he said. He said in a very simple and easy understandable language. Everyone understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but still, I'll just very quickly, I'll just break it up. You have to remember one thing when there is a mixture. Whenever there is a mixture, अगर आपके पास strong acid and weak acid है, सबसे पहले the acid that will be neutralized will always be the strong acid. ये हमेशा ऐसा ही होता है. The strong one will get neutralized first. इसीलिए आप देख सकते हैं starting में एकदम sharp decrease in conductance है because the strong acid was neutralized. अब जितना भी strong acid था, it got neutralized, it got converted into salt. अब आपके system में क्या है? Weak acid बचा हुआ है. So you are continuing with the titration. So the weak acid will now get neutralized with your strong base. So this is what you see. Since it is a weak acid, that is why the conductance is not increasing. A very low and gradual progress in conductance. अब इसके बाद आपके सिस्टम में जो वीक एसिड जितना भी था वो भी यूज अप हो गया. Now what remains is the excess of base that you add from the burette. In this case, it is the strong base, which is why you see a sharp increase in conductance. अगर आप सेम चीज एक वीक बेस के सामने टाइट्रेट करते हैं तो similar thing you will see. The first acid to be neutralized will be the strong acid, then followed by weak acid. अब इस केस में क्या होता है? Because your titrant is a weak base, you don't see an increase in conductance, rather the conductance is constant. अब यहाँ पे ये जो मैं एक्सट्रापोलेशन की बात कर रही थी, you can clearly see. आप जैसे ही पॉइंट्स प्लॉट करते हो, you will plot some points over here, फिर कुछ पॉइंट्स ऐसे जाएंगे. What you get the actual endpoint by extrapolating these lines, कि आप जो dashed lines देख रहे हैं, you are extending the line. जैसे ही आप ये extend करते हो, कुछ point at a particular point they will intersect with each other. You see over here, they are intersecting. That is the end point. That is the equivalence point. So this is how you find the equivalence point while actually performing the practical. So that was, these were the cases in acid-base titration. We saw all kind of acids and bases, the weak and the strong. I think the acid-base concept is clear to you now. If it is, we can move forward to the next one, which is the displacement titration, or you call it the replacement titration. अब आपने सबने displacement reaction के बारे में सुना ही होगा, where ions get displaced or replaced with each other. सुना है ना replacement reaction?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So in this case, we will again quickly see examples. यहाँ पे देखो, what they have considered is, we are having two example again based on acid base only, but not exactly that one. This graph, this you can see, right? The graph I'm having right now, has it changed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What you see over here is a salt. This is a salt, sodium acetate, salt of a weak acid. And इसके साथ हम reaction में रख रहे हैं a strong acid. So when you are having this salt and it is reacting with a strong acid, this is the reaction. Everyone understood this reaction? Now when we try to put it graphically and understand the conductance measurement, यहाँ पे दो graphs है actually. First look at this graph with sodium acetate and HCl. This is the graph I'm talking about. Okay. So looking at this particular graph, would anyone like to give any explanation what is happening? ये देखो, ये ऐसे जा रहा है graph. Actually, it is totally in the increasing format, but the level of increase or the intensity of that increase in conductance is different. Would anyone like to give any explanation कि क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? You have the reaction. I've put this reaction in front of you.
Can I try?
Yes. Who is this?
Khushbu.
Khushbu. Yes, Khushbu, please go ahead.
If we have a weak acid salt and a strong acid,
Hmm.
when the reaction starts, H plus ion will replace Na plus ion and it will form weak acid. So at the neutralization point, the Na plus ions are completely displaced by H plus ions, and after that we have salt formation and weak acid. So this is continuously increasing.
It is continuously increasing because of
Salt formation.
Khushbu, salt formation.
Acid.
Salt formation. You are talking about NaCl salt formation, है ना? हाँ. But in this case, see, NaCl कब तक form होगा? As long as you are having this system, this thing, as long as you are having this sodium acetate in your system, एक time पे ये खत्म हो जाएगा ना?
So because of weak acid.
Because
Do you think the straight line, this much straight line will go because of weak acid? Khushbu, just think over it. You are going in the right path, but Just think of what is happening. This is very straight. And this is not a proper acid-based reaction. This one is actually a displacement reaction. यहाँ पे salt है and सामने acid है. You are thinking it right, but some minor glitch is there. Khushbu, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Khushbu. The salt formation takes place over here and it gets ended over here in this portion. You see the curve over here. Then what is happening? Would anyone like to help Khushbu?
N are replaced by H atom.
What? What did you say? Come on, people. Why is this line going so straight?
NaCl is not carrying much more conductance on that portion. CH3COOH dissociate weakly, but H plus ion increases in the solution. That's why maybe conductance is constantly increases.
Okay, you are the things you are talking about. We have reached this portion, the middle portion. But why
Yes.
is this increasing? It is very, very simple. Look at the reaction. What is happening? Burette में से क्या add कर रहे हो आप?
HCl.
हाँ. So excess
Ma'am.
of
Yes,
what
but
is going in the
concentrations of
system?
HCl, H plus ion also increases in this case because of on that time CH3COOH created an NaCl. But now excess of HCl is we added, then H plus ion also increases in the solution. On that time, strong acid is present, so the sharp change is
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. In the
We got
end,
the point.
HCl is going more in the system. That is why it is increasing over here. I think you all got confused with the products. That is why there was a confusion. I'll just go
Yes.
ahead once again. हाँ, you all were looking at this portion. आप ये भूल गए कि हम HCl add कर रहे हैं इसमें. You all were so occupied with the salt and the acid, you forgot the main thing that you are adding here. So again, I'll just quickly tell you what is happening. आपके पास है sodium acetate salt and आप add कर रहे हैं HCl. So what is being formed is acetic acid. This salt goes back to its parent acid, originally from where it came. That is acetic acid, which is a very weak acid. अब ये जो salt है, the decrease in the salt and the increase in acetic acid formation, which is very weak, this does not increase conductance much. It increases very slightly. That is why we see a curve over here. The curve nature, ये जो curve nature है, ये भी important है. You won't find this in all kind of titration. This curve is seen in very selected titrations where there are these kind of species, weakly ionizing species. Because of this salt formation, we are having this small curve over here. And इस case में there is the NaCl salt formed is also not much in number. It is very less क्योंकि ions ही कम है. तो कहाँ से formation होगा? जितने भी कम ions है उसमें से salt form होगा. And उसके बाद ये जो salt formation है, this is a very short process over here. It gets ended quickly. And then what is left is the HCl that you are adding from the burette. This is actually very simple, but when you look at the reaction, there might be a tendency to get confused because we will get occupied with the products. This is the case. HCl is increasing and so the conductance is increasing. This is not a typical acid-base titration. This is a displacement reaction taking place. Now this was for salt of an acid. We will similarly see for salt of a base. We are having ammonium chloride, which is a salt of a weak base. Ammonium hydroxide में से मिलता है. And we are reacting it with NaOH, which is a strong base. सामने we have ammonium hydroxide and NaCl. Look at the graph over here, the second graph. अब ये देखो, ये ग्राफ थोड़ा अलग है, इससे थोड़ा अलग है, the nature of graph. So, can anyone tell me why this one is a little different? What is happening over here? यहाँ पे हम continuous increase देख रहे थे. Initially there was slight increase, then highly increasing. यहाँ पे case different है. What do you think? What is happening? And I can give you one more clue. We discussed about this point in this lecture itself.
Ma'am, can I?
Sure, sure.
NH4 plus की conductivity ज्यादा है compared to Na plus.
Very good. So,
That's why
the point is right. Now apply it over here. You got the point correct. Now apply it. That is why what is
Yes, ma'am.
happening? Devashi, you got the point right. Now what is happening to the graph?
ma'am,
Ammonium
Drashti
ion.
not take.
Okay. Anyone else? You got a hint. Now what do you think? What is happening? Anyone else?
આપણે જ્યારે રિએક્શન કરીશું ત્યારે NaOH એમોનિયમ આયનનું ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ કરશે.
हाँ हाँ, वेरी गुड, करेक्ट. तो फिर क्या होगा? उस अमोनिया सोडियम आयन विल डिस्प्लेस अमोनिया आयन. ये बात सही है. इस वजह से क्या होगा?
સ્મોલ કંડક્ટિવિટી
स्मॉल कंडक्टिविटी
कर्व वहाँ आएगा ना.
नीचे की तरफ जा रहा है ना, यानी कंडक्टेंस इज डिक्रीजिंग, है ना? तुम ये कहना चाहते हो ना?
यस.
हाँ, very good. This is what is happening. You had the main point. Ammonia is being displaced by sodium. Sodium has low conductivity compared to ammonia. इसीलिए conductance is going down. Who was that? श्यामल.
यस.
हाँ, फिर श्यामल अगर ये डिक्रीज होता जा रहा है, ठीक है, यहाँ तक मैं समझ गई. फिर क्या हो रहा है?
Ma'am, because of strong phase, the line going to straight.
हाँ, अब ये
No,
तुमने ये
straight.
बात कही, यहाँ पे स्ट्रेट लाइन है, ये भी मैं समझ गई.
हाँ.
अब इसका क्या? ये बीच में जो कर्व है,
वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट NH4OH की वजह से.
वेरी गुड. हु इज दैट?
रोहन मैम.
हाँ, रोहन. गुड. जग रहे हो आज तुम?
बस मैम.
Okay, so see, this is because of the electrolyte that is being formed. आपके पास जो salt है, जैसे आप रिएक्शन आगे ले जाते हो, the salt formation will decrease. Not salt formation, आपके सिस्टम में जो जितना भी salt था वो कम होता जाएगा, एंड सामने अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ये बनता जाएगा. अब ये कब तक बनेगा? एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर हैविंग दिस सॉल्ट. एक बार ये आपके जो कॉनिकल फ्लास्क में ये जितना भी है ये खत्म हो जाए, इट विल गेट ओवर. दैट पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन is shown over here. This, whenever you get this point, that salt formation goes to the leads to the formation of your weak base and your NaCl salt. The product, ये जो product है, this curve is because of the product which is very less in number. एक बार ये use up हो जाए, once this is consumed or once its production is stopped, फिर ये जो स्ट्रेट लाइन है, जैसे कि आप देख रहे हो, NaOH हम ऐड कर रहे हैं, इस वजह से it will go ahead with a straight line. So this is how a conductometric titration is helpful in understanding a displacement reaction. These are all applications. ये वाला NaCl वाला. ओके, हाँ, श्योर. देखो आपके पास है a salt of a weak base and you are titrating it against a strong base. Okay. So what is happening? Initially, you are having ammonia ions in your system, which is comparatively having good conductance. जैसे ही आप NaOH add करते हो, the ammonia gets replaced by Na plus. The conductivity of Na plus is less. Because of that, initially there is a decrease in conductance. But as the reaction progresses, there is formation of a weak base and a salt in the system. So as the reaction goes on, these products, formation of the product is increasing. That is depicted over here. Now, in this case, the conductance is slightly increasing because the product formed, and in that especially the salt formed, is a good electrolyte. Comparatively, their conductance is good. Not as good as a very strong acid or base, but comparatively, आपके सिस्टम में ऑलरेडी जो प्रेजेंट है उसके कंपैरिजन में their conductance is good, especially the salt I'm talking about. इस वजह से there is a slight increase in conductance. This slight increase or this small curvy increase is because they are kind of moderate electrolytes. इस वजह से ये ऐसा shape दिखाता है. Now this thing is a very small area because the already existing system, इसमें जितने भी ions है बहुत कम है. Ionic species, अगर आपको conductance measure करना ही है तो उसमें ionic species होना जरूरी है, लेकिन आपके ionic species ही कम है तो जितना है वो उतना ही दिखाएगा. Hence you see this small portion of curve. Once all these products are see the reaction is going on, at one point of time the reaction will end because a product बनने के लिए सामने होना चाहिए ना, parent compound also needs to be there. At one point of time this thing in your flask gets used up. So after that point the conductance increases because now you are constantly adding NaOH from the burette. That is why there is a rise in conductance. That is why you see in this case you see three shifts: a decrease in conductance, a small increase in conductance because of the electrolytic salt produced, and then a high increase in conductance because of the high conductivity of the titrant. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now we move on to the last section of these conductometric titrations. That is the precipitation titration and complex forming titration. Now in this case there is no particular graph as such because every reaction will give you a typical graph. And इसमें this is not as simple as the previous titrations we talked about. Why is this not as simple as that? The first thing is precipitation and complex formation में conductometric titration हम use कर सकते हैं because it gives you comparatively accurate result. Accurate result तो नहीं बोल सकते हैं, but it is a double confirmation. आप ये same titration lab में भी perform करते ही हो. आपने जैसे practical में आपका देखा होगा. Which one was that? Chlorides and sulfates. You discussed that in class. You must have discussed that in class. Determination of chlorides and sulfates in water. Practical में ये discuss किया था. People in your practical,
Yes.
है ना? Chloride,
Yes,
sulfates. तो वो क्या हुआ? They are precipitation titration. और कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्मेशन में भी आपने देखा होगा EDTA टाइट्रेशंस जितने भी आपने डिस्कस किए, दे आर ऑल कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्मिंग टाइट्रेशन. अब ये सारे केसेस ऐसे हैं. फर्स्ट विल टॉक अबाउट प्रेसिपिटेशन टाइट्रेशन. यू कैन नॉट सिंपली यूज अ कंडक्टोमीटर फॉर अ प्रेसिपिटेशन टाइट्रेशन. द फर्स्ट रीजन बीइंग, आपको पता है इसमें प्रेसिपिटेट्स फॉर्म होते हैं. नाउ दीज प्रेसिपिटेट्स कैन बी सॉल्ट, or they can be any kind of salt formation takes place during precipitation. Now secondly, ये जो precipitation है, they just don't simply come out by reaction. You have to give certain reaction conditions. अब कई बार ऐसा होता है कि if you go on titrating, the precipitation will be formed and they might again get redissolved. ऐसा होता है, कुछ कुछ cases में ऐसा होता है. Then there are other cases where precipitations will be formed, but if you continue with the titration, आपको जो precipitate चाहिए उसका nature change हो जाएगा. Either something extra will get added to it and some other compound may form. ये भी cases है. Thirdly, it is very important to keep the precipitate in stable form in your system. आप जब I'll just turn this on. Please hold on. Okay. So, in case of precipitation, there are certain criteria you have to keep in mind. First thing, you are doing the titration, you are performing the reaction. Precipitation has formed, it has come out. Now you are performing the titration to know about those precipitates formed. लेकिन कभी ऐसा हो जाता है कि you are continuing with the titration, burette में से आप add किए जा रहे हो, the precipitate that came out might get soluble again. ऐसा हो सकता है. Secondly, it can happen कि you are continuing with the titration, at one particular stage आपको जो precipitates चाहिए थे वो आ गए, लेकिन आपको पता नहीं चला. You are still continuing with the titration and आपको जिस form में चाहिए था वो change हो गया. Something else, something different, slightly different is being formed. So again, there is a chance of, the results that you want, you will not get. ऐसा हो सकता है. Third thing, अगर proper study आपको करनी है using a conductometric titration, using a conductometer, तो ये भी ज़रूरी है कि जो precipitates form हुए system में, that has to remain stable. System में precipitate को stable रखना, again that is not an easy task. So these kind of conditions we have to keep in mind while performing a precipitation titration. अब इसमें एक specific format इसीलिए नहीं है क्योंकि every titration having precipitate is different. The precipitate formed will be different. Sometimes sparingly soluble salt is formed, sometimes highly soluble salt is formed. So every time, since the condition is different, they have not cited one proper example. But this is what you have to keep in mind while dealing with precipitation titration. This is what you have to remember. Now, secondly, when you go to complexometric titration, उसमें भी same case है. अब जैसे आपको पता है, complexometry यानी some complex is being formed. There is a formation of some complex. अब इसमें क्या होता है, you just don't get any complex, simply you just perform a reaction and you get a complex. ऐसा नहीं होता. To get a particular complex species, you have to give certain conditions, certain environment. जैसे कि in some of the reactions, to get a particular complex, we need to give a particular temperature. कभी ऐसा होता है कि we have to provide them certain pH. That is when the complex is formed. Some cases, कुछ cases ऐसे भी होते हैं जिसमें the reaction needs to have presence of certain compounds, certain active compounds, जैसे कोई catalyst तो नहीं, but the presence of certain species is needed for the formation of complex. और ये सब conditions देने के बाद एक बार complex बन भी जाए तो उस complex को maintain करना आसान नहीं है. You must have seen all the complexes, generally the complexes that are formed, those conditions need to be maintained to keep the complex stable. अब नाम itself complex है, उस complex चीज को संभाल के रखना और stability के साथ रखना आसान नहीं है. There are very few complexes which remain stable as it is at room temperature. There are complexes, but my purpose of telling you all this is every complex formation needs specific environment, specific conditions. So from reaction to reaction, it will change. That is why again we are not having a specific format of graph over here. From reaction to reaction, we will get different kind of complex formation. लेकिन conductometer use करके हम we will get more or less accurate results, because again in complex formation the ions are getting complex and forming something. So based on its conductance we get fairly good results. So again, this in complexometry and in precipitation titration, conductometer plays a very good role. Also, हम जो लैब में टाइट्रेशन परफॉर्म करते हैं उसमें वीक एसिड एंड वीक बेस वाला जो टाइट्रेशन था वो लैब में परफॉर्म करना बहुत मुश्किल है. लैब में आप कैसे करते हो? आपके पास दोनों है, आप कोई इंडिकेटर यूज करते हो ताकि विजुअली आप देख सको. लेकिन जब वीक एसिड एंड वीक बेस दोनों वीक है, देन वी डोंट हैव अ वेरी suitable indicator to give proper visual color change. In that case, conductometer becomes very helpful for weak acid, weak base. Similarly, अगर हमारे पास colored substances है, colored compounds है, so in that case, every time lab में we cannot get very good result, because लैब में अल्टीमेटली होता क्या है, वी आर डिटेक्टिंग थ्रू आवर एबिलिटी टू सी द कलर चेंज. तो कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि हम एक्चुअल कलर चेंज डिटेक्ट नहीं कर पाते. एंड एवरी रिएक्शन, एवरी टाइट्रेशन डजंट हैव पिंक टू कलरलेस एंड कलरलेस टू पिंक. देयर आर मेनी डिफरेंट कलर चेंजेस इन इट. तो समटाइम्स इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ऑरेंज टू येलो. अब हम ऑरेंज टू येलो में देखते रह जाते हैं, ऑरेंज है, येलो है, ऑरेंज है. देयर इज अ चांस ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग द चेंज इन कलर. समटाइम्स देयर इज ब्लू टू वायलेट कलर चेंज. अब वी सी इट इन लैब ओवर द ईयर, स्पेशली बॉयज. दे सिट, मैम ये ब्लू कलर है या वायलेट कलर है, वायलेट है या ब्लू है. दे जस्ट start looking at the color and they get confused easily. So not putting down anyone, but these problems we all experience. So when we are using colored compounds, conductometer is very helpful, because conductometer has got nothing to do with color. It depends on ions. So these are some of the advantages of using conductometer. It is highly helpful in certain reactions, certain titrations, which we don't get proper result in the lab scale. So that is about the types of titrations in using conductometer. This much, is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we will move forward to the last topic, which is high frequency titration. So here we go. Yes. Okay, high frequency titration. Now, just as the name says, in last lecture, we had seen measurement of how do we measure conductance. we had seen a circuit diagram जिसमें मैंने आपको बताया था we were having a circuit similar to the Wheatstone bridge circuit, and in that आपको याद हो तो there we provided energy through AC source, alternating current. There was a source which was AC source. अब ये जो AC source है जनरली हम जो लैब में कंडक्टोमीटर यूज करते हैं एंड जो नॉर्मल जो कंडक्टोमीटर है दे हैव a frequency of 10 raised to 3 hertz, 10 to the power 3 hertz, 10 raised to 3 hertz. लेकिन यहाँ पे आप जैसे देख रहे हैं ये जो केस है of high frequency titration, we are increasing the frequency. Okay. In high frequency in normal conductometer, we are having a frequency of 10 raised to 3 hertz. अब यहाँ पे जैसे नाम, the name itself says high frequency titration. So what is the change we are making? यहाँ पे जो हम source provide करते हैं, we are giving very very high frequency. We are giving 10 raised to 6 to 10 raised to 7 power of hertz we are providing, which is very high. अब आप पूछोगे कि इससे होता क्या है? What happens in this is, first of all, the energy provided is very high compared to what it can actually handle. बहुत ही ज़्यादा energy हम दे रहे हैं. So because of that, अब जो normal conductometer के अंदर जो meter है, वो काम नहीं करेगा. We have to redesign the entire equipment. And the main difference over here is, जैसे ही मैंने आपको इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सेल्स के बारे में मैं बता रही थी, यू ऑल रिमेंबर एन इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सेल हैज टू मेन कंपोनेंट्स. एक है आपका इलेक्ट्रोड एंड दूसरा इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन. और आपको ये भी याद है कि द इलेक्ट्रोड इज डिप्ड इनसाइड द इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन. ये था एक नॉर्मल सिस्टम. अब इस केस में आपका जो इलेक्ट्रोड है वो आपके सिस्टम के बाहर है. आपका जो इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन है उससे कोई कांटेक्ट ही नहीं है इलेक्ट्रोड को. सो दैट इज वन मेजर डिफरेंस. तो आप भी सोचोगे कि इलेक्ट्रोड इज नॉट इन कांटेक्ट विद इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन, फिर होता क्या है? तो होता ये है, यू रिमेंबर इन योर in that circuit diagram there was one important component called capacitor. Capacitance जो measure करने के लिए there was a capacitor. अब ऐसा होता है कि whenever you are having any solvent, when you have any solvent having low conductance and high dielectric constant. You must be wondering these terms. I will tell you about it. The condition is this: low conductance and high dielectric constant. In that case, the capacitance starts coming into picture and it starts giving you result. Before I proceed, आप लोगों ने dielectric constant word सुना है? You know it, what it is? Have you heard it before? People, do you know what is dielectric constant of a solvent?
Can you explain one time, because we are not remember it properly?
Okay, no problem. In this particular case, for your understanding, हमें यहाँ पे we are talking about solvents, ठीक है? So in case of solvent, for your easy remembrance, you remember it this way: dielectric constant is the measure of the polarity of a solvent. आपने सुना होगा कि सॉल्वेंट्स कैन बी पोलर इन नेचर, नॉन पोलर इन नेचर, ये आपने सुना है ना?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
हाँ, तो in simple words you understand this, dielectric constant is the measure of polarity of a solvent. अब कैसे what is the relation between this? If your solvent is more polar, then the dielectric constant is more. If your solvent is less polar, जैसे कि organic solvents है, benzene, toluene, these are non-polar in nature, their dielectric constant is less. Polar solvents में you have water, you have all these alcohols, aldehydes, they are polar in nature. These solvents have very high dielectric constant. इस केस में आपको इतना एक बेसिक याद रखना है. अब क्या होता है, why was this high frequency titration needed? मैंने जैसे बताया, इसमें electrodes are kept, you see the metal electrodes encircle the outside of the glass container. So why was this needed and why this came into picture? अब देखो सारे reactions ऐसे, we are advancing technologically every day since the industrial revolution and since the technological revolution. इतना कुछ आ गया है कि we are just advancing at a very high rate. So naturally many things came up, many different kinds of chemicals were synthesized in lab which had to be characterized. मतलब अगर आप कुछ नया बनाते हो तो then we have to characterize it, we have to prove it, हमने क्या बनाया है. तो जैसे कि अगर there is a new system, sometimes it is necessary to prove certain parameters conductometrically. अब ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि every system can take hold of the conductometer electrode. There were certain cases in which you could not directly place the electrode in the solution. जैसे कि अगर आपका solution बहुत ही aggressive nature का है या फिर it is very corrosive in nature, you cannot directly place anything and directly measure it. In those kind of cases, it was necessary to stay out of the system and measure the conductance. That is where the high frequency titration came into practice. This actually is not much in detail for your, just for your understanding that there is this kind of conductometer also where the electrode is not directly placed in the solution. And certain cases ऐसा भी है, जैसे मैंने अभी dielectric constant के बारे में आपको बताया, देखो यहाँ पे. Okay, हाँ. This also is useful in many titrations such as C. Now these kind of titrations, there are certain EDTA titration where it is useful, but apart from that, thorium with sodium carbonate and beryllium with sodium hydroxide ये directly lab में perform करना बहुत मुश्किल है. It is not feasible. So for these kind of specific titrations, high frequency titrations were used, or this is also called oscillometry. So it was again used in this case. अब इसमें क्या होता है, how is this dielectric constant coming into picture? I told you about polarity. अब देखो काफी सारे solvents जो हम lab में use करते हैं, it is very important to have them in pure state, as much as pure state. और आपको पता है जहाँ पे भी solvent और ये सब use होता है, there is always a chance of adding unnecessary things to it. जैसे कि अगर मान लो कि आपके पास बेंजीन है जो कि नॉन पोलर नेचर का है and its dielectric constant is 2.27. वाटर ये पोलर है and it is having a high dielectric constant of 78.5. अब इस केस में suppose I want to see if my benzene is contaminated, not exactly contaminated, if I want to see if there is any water content in my benzene, I can detect this using high frequency titration, because of the difference in dielectric constant, my instrument will measure if there is any water content in it. Similarly, ये just एक example है. वैसे ही अगर आपके पास solvent mixture है अलग अलग तरह के, and if the polarity is different, these kind of reactions आप अभी जो लैब में देखते हो इसमें आपको ज़्यादा शायद आइडिया ना भी आए, because these are highly specific and research oriented kind of हो जाता है. तो काफ़ी सारे एरियाज में ऐसा होता है कि we need to know what is the exact composition of a solvent mixture. कितना पोलर सॉल्वेंट है, कितना नॉन पोलर है, या फिर कोई मॉडरेटली पोलर है. ऐसे सारे केसेस में हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी टाइट्रेशन इज यूज्ड. This thing is not there in detail. You just have to understand these basic ideas about the high frequency titration, and I will just show you. Now this is in the has this book page appeared on the screen? Has a book page come up?
No, ma'am. Right now, PPT is observed.
No,
40 number page.
अच्छा अच्छा, एक मिनट है, मैं देखती हूँ. I will just show you कि this particular topic you will get from Arthur Israel Vogel book. काफी पुराना है ये topic. This idea came up in the I guess somewhere around 1950s or something. But then it was developed and used. Now is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. तो आपको ये बुक यूज करना है, आर्थर इजराइल वोगल. आप ये अपलोडेड है एंड फ्रॉम एट पेज नंबर 527, आई एम सॉरी 527 पे ये है हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी टाइट्रेशन. दिस इज द लास्ट टॉपिक इन इट, बट इसमें कंडक्टोमीटर के बारे में भी है. प्लीज गो थ्रू इट. अभी आपके पास कंडक्टोमेट्रिक टाइट्रेशन पार्ट्स के लिए दो तरह के नोट्स है. The one that I have uploaded separately, that is from where I took everything for explaining to you in your class, and this is another book. This is also having conductometer. Especially I would recommend this to who are preparing extra. Go through these extra notes and see. मैं इसलिए नहीं बोल रही क्योंकि मैं कंडक्टोमीटर पढ़ा रही हूँ, but I have come through your stage, come out through your stage. That is why I'm telling you this is something important to students of all branches. आप no doubt next year organic में जाओगे, मुझे पता है, लेकिन अगर आप एग्जाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो कंडक्टोमीटर इज कॉमन. So go through these things. Like वो जो दूसरे नोट्स है कंडक्टोमेट्री 1 and 2 मैंने जो दिया है उसमें काफ़ी सारा एडिशनल पॉइंट्स है, काफ़ी कुछ है जो सिलेबस में है, वो तो है ही, एंड उसके अलावा भी है which will be definitely useful to you. So go through it. So this is where you will find this high frequency titration. I hope you all will be able to find it. And so this was about high frequency titration. There isn't much about it. There is hardly, near about 1 page only. It is to give you an idea that this kind of system also exists in conductometry. With this, we wind up our syllabus of conductometer and pH meter. Do you have any problem in this so far? People, are you there? Do you have any problem?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I would be more than happy if you have no problem. But anybody has any problem anywhere in pH or conducto, agar you are not able to find the notes or you are having problem with the notes, anything is there, please feel free to approach me. You can ask me. But I would recommend कि अगर इतना urgent नहीं है तो आप mail through communicate कर सकते हैं. In case of emergency, everyone is having the WhatsApp number, so that is also not a problem. But if you are having any problem, you feel free to ask me. even if I don't reply you immediately, I will get back to you and sort out your things. So that being said, we will just discuss one or two questions for conductometer. What is the answer?
C.
C.
What is the answer? C.
C.
Test. Which one?
C, ma'am.
B किसने बोला? Everyone agrees to C.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay.
मैम
तो
आपकी
भैया-
नोट्स MS टीम में अपलोड की हुई है.
हाँ, MS टीम में
ओके मैम.
मैंने कंडक्टोमेट्री 1 एंड कंडक्टोमेट्री 2 करके नाम दिया है. ओके, यहाँ पे क्या आएगा आंसर? What is the answer here? Like, are you people saying something and I'm not able to hear?
NaOH.
Okay. C. Everyone is agreeing to C.
NaOH, yes, ma'am.
NaOH, ma'am.
Okay. So seems like these are pretty easy questions for you. Fine. NaOH is the right answer. Now see this is how questions will be asked. Has it been discussed in your class, like how the options will be and what way the questions will be? Has Pranav sir discussed with you?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, आप लोगों ने कभी पूछा है?
No, ma'am.
Okay. See, so far, even we are also not having any guidelines into how things are going to be. But as far as I know, since it's being said it is MCQs, still I am not sure about it. If it is going to be MCQs, it will be like this. Then additionally, आपको पता है ना, जब ऐसे पूछते हैं all of the above, none of these, ऐसे type options भी होते हैं. Either A or B, ऐसे type options होते हैं, आपको पता है?
Yes मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Secondly, have you people divide? Wait, I'll just. Have you people started, preparing questions, preparing question bank or something like that in your class? आपने कुछ ऐसा कुछ start किया है?
Yes, ma'am. Pranav sir told us to prepare questions and share with them, so we did it.
Okay. तो आप प्रणव सर के यूनिट के लिए आप कर रहे होंगे ना? आप सारे पेपर्स में ऐसा कर रहे हो, क्वेश्चंस बना रहे हो?
No ma'am, just right now only Pranav sir's questions are make it, not others.
ओके ओके, कोई बात नहीं. एंड ये जो यूनिट है पीएच एंड कंडक्टर के लिए भी आप ऐसा कर सकते हो. यू कैन प्रिपेयर अ सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, लाइक सम ऑफ यू कैन टेक द इनिशिएटिव. आई हैव टोल्ड यू बिफोर ऑल्सो, अगर आप सारे यूनिट्स को इस तरह डिवाइड करते हो तो एवरीवन विल हैव अ स्मॉल पोर्शन on their account, and at last when you combine it you will get a huge pool of question bank. I can understand you people don't know each other. There must be some kind of that initial thing. But if you are able to overcome it, and if you can divide yourself into groups and make questions, it will be beneficial to everyone. That is up to you, the way you decide. But in this case, for TH and conductor, you can make this kind of questions and share it with me and share it with the entire class also. Things will become easier. ये आपके लिए है. अगर आप बनाते हो तो you will have an idea what kind of how questions can be formatted, and एक ही क्वेश्चन को हम अलग अलग तरीके से पूछ सकते हैं. आपका जो सिलेबस है बहुत छोटा है और क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होने के चांसेस है, लेकिन एक ही क्वेश्चन को अलग स्टाइल में अलग फॉर्मेट में पूछ सकते हैं और ऐसा होता है. एंड एग्जाम में बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि यू नो द आंसर बट आप क्वेश्चन ठीक से पढ़ते ही नहीं हो, या फिर पढ़ने के बाद वो समझ में नहीं आता है. ऐसे केसेस भी होते हैं एंड यू आर हैविंग लिमिटेड टाइम. So in that stressed environment, you want to cover up everything. You are reading so many questions just because of some kind of lack of understanding or timing or certain these kind of things. You just miss things. You miss marks. So in order to overcome this, आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं. So will you be providing me questions?
Ma'am, will you share this presentation also?
This presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Because sir told us कि आप presentation में से questions बना के मुझे दो तो मैं exam में अपने से ना करूँ. मतलब आपने जो दिए है वही मैं करूँ.
और मैम आपने जो पढ़ा है वो बेसिक थिंग पे है, तो क्या हमें अंडरस्टैंडिंग ज्यादा इसमें होगी? तो क्या एमसीक्यू सॉल्व करने के लिए अंडरस्टैंडिंग मैन मेजर करती है थियरी पोर्शन से ज्यादा?
बात सही है निखिल, अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, लेकिन क्या होता है ना, एग्जाम में जब हम एग्जाम के माहौल में जब बैठते हैं ना, तो वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग और सब पता नहीं, नॉट एवरीवन इज एबल टू, द आंसर्स डोंट क्लिक इन क्विकली. आपको पता होता है बट उस टाइम पे करेक्ट आंसर मार्क करना, यानी उसमें प्रैक्टिस की जरूरत है. एंड आप लोगों ने क्या अब तक डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस आप फॉलो करते थे बीएससी में एग्जाम्स में, एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन अब एमसीक्यू देखने में ऐसा लगेगा हाँ एमसीक्यू ही तो है, मार्क ही तो करना है, बट इसमें भी स्ट्रेटेजिकली थोड़ा पढ़ना जरूरी है. सो इट इज
मैम
गुड.
वो तो जो है, पर अभी क्या है, टाइम शॉर्टेज इतना है कि हम सारी रेफरेंस बुक्स में कलेक्शन करके अपनी नोट्स प्रिपेयर करने जाते हैं ना, तो हमारे पास टाइम है. मॉर्निंग 9 to इवनिंग 5:30 तक तो लेक्चर्स ही होते हैं. आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ लेक्चर्स हमारे पास असाइनमेंट्स और सेमिनार्स का अभी आ गया, तो हमारे पास टाइम ही नहीं है मैम. तो आपका प्रेजेंटेशन होगा तो हमें क्या गाइडेंस मिलता रहेगा, टॉपिक के अंदर थोड़ा एडिशन हम कर लेंगे, बट वो क्या डायरेक्टली हमें मिल जाता है कहीं से, कोई भी ऐप में से क्या डायरेक्ट गूगल से कर लेते हैं, तो थोड़ा एडिशन हो जाता है. पर पूरा का पूरा उधर से उठाना थोड़ा हार्ड है. सब में से एक एक टॉपिक लेना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि एक यूनिट नहीं है मैम, बहुत सारे 16 यूनिट्स है और उसमें बहुत एडिशन है.
मैं समझ रही हूँ 16 यूनिट्स है, मैं भी 16 यूनिट्स में से ही बाहर निकल आई, बट तुम देखो अभी जो है ना, अभी जो तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है कि 16 यूनिट्स है, जैसे ही तुम एमएससी खत्म करोगे तुमको ऐसा लगेगा कि एमएससी में तो कुछ भी नहीं था. तुम्हें तब ऐसा लगेगा, मैं बता रही हूँ तुम्हें, एमएससी के टाइम ऐसा ही लगता है.
But right now we feel very difficult for
I
us.
get your point, I
टाइम
get
ही
your
नहीं है
point.
मतलब.
हाँ, एमएससी में सबको ऐसा ही लगता है कि टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है. मुझे भी ऐसा ही लगता था, बट एमएससी के बाद मैं समझ गई कि जितना टाइम एमएससी में था अब शायद लाइफ में मुझे ना मिले. तो प्रेजेंटेशन में शेयर करूंगी, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट अगेन
Thank
आई
you,
विल,
ma'am.
you're welcome, but I will like to add something, that is the presentation is not the notes. Presentation is not the notes. Please hold on. Hello. Hello, sir. सर बस अभी थोड़ी देर में वाइंड अप करते हैं सर. यस सर. सर जस्ट वाइंड अप कर ही रही हूँ. Yes. The presentation is not the notes. Please keep that in mind, everyone. The presentation I just made, this is the first time even I am making presentation क्योंकि अब तक मैं lab में lecture में हम पढ़ाते थे black chalk and board use करते थे, so that was a different thing. This presentation has just been made for your understanding ताकि आपको समझ में आए. ये एक जो bridge है, क्लासरूम एटमॉस्फेयर हम नहीं क्रिएट कर सकते, और ये जो ब्रिज है आप भी स्क्रीन में देख रहे हो, मैं भी स्क्रीन में देख रही हूँ, किसको कितना समझ में आ रहा है ये भी नहीं पता. सो टू ओवरकम दैट आई हैड प्रिपेयर्ड प्रेजेंटेशन की चलो मैं जो बोल रही हूँ कुछ तो समझ में आए आप लोगों को. विद दैट इंटेंशन आई हैड प्रिपेयर्ड. That will be definitely shared with you. I'll see, I'll just upload or something like that. But again I will repeat, this is not the notes. Please go through your notes. आपके notes में बहुत ही कम topics है. इस यूनिट की बात करें, यूनिट 3 में बहुत ही कम टॉपिक्स है. पढ़ाते टाइम आपको लगा होगा कि बहुत ज़्यादा है, बट इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. इफ़ यू गो थ्रू दैट पीएच हार्डली 3-4 पेज है. कंडक्टों में भी मेन जो सिलेबस में है वो बहुत कम है. Go through it. If you are having any problem, let me know. Presentation I will share, and if possible, you people share with me the questions so that even I know how you are preparing. What is your approach towards MCQ type of questions? And if I feel there is a need, I will take up some other lecture and let you know how MCQs should. I mean, how you should be preparing for it. Okay. One more thing I want to add after this lecture, Pranav sir is taking a lecture. So I am winding it up right now. So after this, there will be sir's lecture.